we're gonna test all the healers in the beta, and the next one up is what I think is gonna be my favorite outside of Mistweaver, and that is Laser Beam Paladin. If you have not seen this spec yet, oh boy, you're in for a treat. So it's Holy Paladin, right? Nothing very new. However, it is so insanely cool because of Dawn Light. So Dawn Light, every time you press one of your 30-second buttons, so here in this case, Holy Prism, your next two spenders, so like the next two times that I Word of Glory an ally, we're gonna apply a buff to them for 8 seconds. Okay, so that's how we apply the buff. Or if we pop our big cooldown for everyone once every minute, we'll apply that button. What makes this really cool is when we pop our big button, we also apply that buff to 5 allies, or to 4 allies, sorry. What this buff does, let me see if I can find it. Oh yeah, it's right there. So during our big cooldown, you become linked to the people that you have that buff on. And you basically create a laser beam between you and them. So if you have that buff on an enemy, laser beam between you and that enemy. If you have that buff on an ally, laser beam between you and that ally. Any enemies that pass through or that stand in that laser beam take damage. Any allies that stand in this laser beam get healed. So what it's going to look like, let me show you in Orgrimmar. Let me go over here and pop it. Or actually, let me stand right here and pop it. So I'm going to pop just my big cooldown. And then I'm going to dash over there. So we're linked to, you know, 4 people. Look at the laser beams, dude. It is so insane. It is so sick. And just imagine enemies, like an enemy pack standing there. We're just shooting laser beams through them. Absolutely sign me up. We're going to try this out. All right, laser beams. I have not tested this yet. I am so excited, dude. It's very weird, especially with something like... Oh, boy. The tank said, I got booped and butt pulled, and the tank said, I am out. The tank said, see ya. Oh my goodness. Okay, but the healing though? Sun's avatar, that's the laser beams though? Kinda cranking and healing. How much damage did it do though? That's a lot of damage. That's a lot of damage. What am I? I'm like the Flex Seal guy? That's a lot of damage. But you know what I mean? Like giving, yeah, Emerald Blossom. Giving Preservation Evokers a button that says like, hey, if you stand here, you're gonna get a lot more healing. As opposed to just saying, hey, if you're in front of me or standing next to your allies, then like some big green visual that just says like, hey, stand next to us. Ah. I think that could absolutely help the problem. But dude, it is so hard to heal a Death Knight. I feel like I'm slamming into him and it's not doing anything. Wings, laser beams, go crazy. I love Avenging Crusader. I think it's so much more fun than Avenging Wrath. Maybe I have those backwards. Yeah, I have those backwards. People should just be scooped towards you while empowering your breaths because you know it's a big breath. So you're thinking the game should inhale them in like Kirby. That would be pretty funny, dude. If you're charging Dream Breath and you just suck in all your allies, that would be sick, dude. Yeah, I'm thinking haste verse for Mythic Plus, but I do think haste crit for raid. Maybe Mastery sneaks in there and can put up some numbers if we pop into like a Chi-Ji playstyle, but I don't think we will. I think we're still going to go Yulon most likely. I see what you mean now, Kippy. You're saying, dude, people don't even stand in efflorescence or healing rain. Why would that fix things? I don't know, man. I don't know. Part of the problem is that people don't understand how all the healer specs work. Like, if you're a DPS player, you only know how your DPS specs work. But to be fair, I don't know how, like, Demon Hunter DPS players work. I don't know what they do. I just know they zip around and butt pull stuff all the time. Should I be Light of Martyring? Light of the Dawn? Light of the Dawn? Light of Dawn? Light of the Dawn. Light of the Dawn. I definitely didn't sound like a lizard person when I said that. Laser beams, baby. Dude, this is so awesome. It's so much fun. And I just played like a Mistweaver. I only did damaging buttons there, and I healed a lot. Got him. DHs. Yeah, I just don't know what DHs do. Same with rogues. I know like one of the rogue specs has to do with like melee attacks, like just basic melee attacks. But that's about it. That's all I know. And one of them does like dots and stuff. Just haven't played it that much. Yeah, your breath. I definitely agree. Butts it tube. Great name. Couldn't tell you what you mean by it. but great name nonetheless. Uh-oh. We're about to enter our laser beam phase. Laser beam activated. Big damage. It's just awesome. There's literally nothing else to... I don't even know if this is strong or not. I just imagine in a raid environment, you have like everyone stacked on the boss, and you connect yourself to the boss and like stand behind everyone. It would be so insane. Just laser beams shooting through your whole group. So cool. Straight up players hate things that make them stand in shit. Yeah, true. Windwalker doesn't even play on Stomp, and Blood Death Knight Blood Death Knights hate standing on their thing. Death and Decay, they hate it. Mistweavers too. We hated standing on our Phaline before they made it to where we could step off and still have the buffs for a bit. I agree. People hate having to stand on stuff. Consecration even. Couldn't even tell you what it does. Just know I have to press it every now and then and stand on it. I don't know why. I know it's really good, but I'm too noob. Alright, wings, laser beams. Wings and laser beams. That's the best date night. It never gets old. Laser beams. I know I'm a bit behind on chat. Let me survive this big slam. Uh-oh. Let's see. When Arcane Mage had that rune, all the mages had that rune, and they all hated it. I know Fire Mages especially would complain about it. Because they're like, we already have to stand still or like jump in place during our consecration, or what's that button called? Conflagration? Combustion. They hated that. Only cast Light of Dawn after you get 5 stacks of Shield of the Righteous because it's free. Yeah, but some of the hero talents buff your Light of Dawn, so I don't think it's that bad anymore. I think getting my little Word of Glory hot on people now, and then once everyone's hotted up, then casting Light of Dawn can be pretty good. Because Word of Glory is not instant healing anymore. It's with this talent, this hero talent setup, it's a hot now. It replaces Word of Glory. So Word of Glorying the same person twice gets a lot less value. So you need a Word of Glory them, or what's it called, Eternal Flame them, and then you can Light of Dawn for healing, I think is correct. But this guy, he's a Pally main and disguised as a Mistweaver monk. No. Look at this. I'm almost getting out healed by everyone in the group. I do have let's see. This guy said Pallies are still doing a lot of burst AoE damage, I see. Look at that damage, dude. 1.64 million. Crazy. Crazy. Um, I'm telling you, LOL, I do 650k on my Paladin. H value laser beams equals big eyes. Mistweaver laser beams. No, Bryce, I'm telling you. I was like all goo goo eyes, or what's it called? Gaga eyes? Whatever it's called. I was that for Mistweaver laser beams yesterday. My first reaction to Big Chi Burst was jaw to the floor. Like actual jaw to the floor. Maybe I'm just a fan of laser beams. Instead of being a Mistweaver YouTuber, I should just do light shows, maybe. Just react to light shows. You should play the War Within dungeons and not Zerg the bosses so you can actually see what the fuck mechanics do. Yeah. Yeah, I do wish that, like, groups would kind of do that more and kind of, like, discuss. I loved doing raid testing for the Mirdrasil bosses. So I got into that early and I was doing the testing on the PTR. And that was a lot of fun because we would sit there and strategize on the bosses between each pool, and that was a lot of fun. Wings, baby. Uh-oh. Laser beams. Shoot through the boss. It's sick, dude. Also, my UI is like, I'm not used to this UI, so I don't really know who has which hot, because these icons are very small for me. So yeah, just making excuses so I can excuse when people die. That's what's happening. Also, my Shield of the Righteous macro is not working. Either that or I don't have it talented, which is probably the case. I think you're supposed to kite the boss away from these guys, right? Like, I love, like, true testing environments where everyone's like, hey, let's die to this mechanic. Let this one cast go off so we can see what it does, kind of thing. You couldn't have been Twitter-pated if this is your reaction today. Is that a word? Twitter-pated? Been playing HP slot, just got KSM, and enjoying the reactive playstyle versus maintenance like Rest Druid. Where does H-Pally fall in that spectrum, you think? Haven't played it in enough time to really know. I think normally Holy Paladin is very reactive. They have a lot of shock heals. Holy Shock, for example, you just zap one person with healing, and then Word of Glory is their spender that zaps with healing too. The problem is I'm currently playing a playstyle where I replaced my big zap spender with a hot spender, so this is not a good showing of how reactive they are, but yeah, they do big bursty heals, a lot like Holy Priest. So if you like Holy Priest, this is a good option for you. But so is Mistweaver. They both perform similarly, where they could go reactive or proactive depending on the build. Hopefully that's a good answer for you. Velo the world. Man, they need to fix the healing issues on healers and tanks. I have 7 million HP with my Brewmaster and my Expel Harm with 3 stacks, healing me for 1 million. 1 Expel Harm stack healing me for 200k. Yeah, Expel Harm on Brewmaster is weird, man. I was playing some Brewmaster this season, and I was like, I just did not know what was going on, if I'm being honest, with Expel Harm in particular. All right, let's enter Wings. Let's do it. Wings. Speaking of Wings, here's a hot take. I tried Wingstop for the first time the other night. Pretty mid, okay? If not kind of bad. I know a lot of people love it, but I will say they closed in an hour when we went. So they were already like I literally said, "Are you guys still taking orders?" And they said, "I guess." And I was like, "Okay." And then my wings had like barely any sauce on them. I was like, "Oh, come on, man. Sauce it up. What are you doing?" So not a good showing for Wingstop. Yeah. Sorry, I kept saying wings and it made me think about that. Let's Tears Deliverance if we can get out of the goo. Tears Deliverance, Hand of Divinity. Yeah, see, I think like in a base kit, Holy Paladins are very reactive, but a lot of their talents shift them a bit into a more proactive, like hot-based playstyle. A lot of mitigations in their kit. Yeah. Like one of my major cooldowns is just to buff my aura that I give everyone, and my aura says, hey, everyone's going to take less damage. That's it. So, if that tells you anything. Come on. Get me in there. Oh, we're dead. We're very dead. Whew. We're just gonna B-res this guy. I'm gonna immune the beeswax. But also, I'm not like some long-time Paladin player. I've played Holy Paladin a bit since Shadowlands, so like I don't know like its history and stuff. Zoop Zub said, "Hey, just tuned in. How does HPAL feel? Set looks kind of good on paper. I think of all the you know really boring tier sets, I do think theirs is good compared to some of the other ones. It's nothing like game breaking for sure, but I think their hero talents are just such a good time. I'm sitting here playing with the laser beam one, Sun's Avatar, and it's endless fun. Also, I think Avenging Crusader looks really cool. I'm not an HPAL god like some of these other people, so I don't really know if it's going to be the way to go. But it feels really good. It really does. Now that it does more healing than it used to. Also, Word of Glory being replaced with a hot with this hero talent setup. Honestly, not a fan, because when you need to wog like the same person twice, it just feels bad that it does like less upfront healing. Not a fan of that, but supposedly like Light of Dawn's supposed to fill that void a bit. Like, if we Light of Dawn here, or what's it called? Yeah, Light of Dawn. I don't know. Not a huge fan of that aspect. Hey yo. Because like Word of Glory basically got turned into regrowth, you know. Not the best, not the best. They should be there should be a whole screen visual like green borders or something to indicate the DPS and tanks. They're standing in a healing puddle. So you're saying like your character should have like a green glow on him? That's a good idea. Or we should just make a weak aura that says there's an if the trigger should be if there's a current efflorescence, and if you're not in that current efflorescence, it should just flash on your screen, and we should just give it all of our DPS, which I'm sure that weak aura does exist. Like surely someone's made that. If not, maybe I should be the one. Must have been the Wingstop you went to, because they're really good here. But there is one on the other side of town that is ass. I think it was, and I think it was just the worker was in like a very bad mood. She's just like, I don't want to be working still. But they were still open for an hour, if not more. I was like, man, I don't... I'm sorry, but I just want a wing. A saucy wing. Expel and Harms is a personal lay on hands for Mistweavers. It's not for Monk, Bryce. It's just for Mistweavers. It has different scaling, and for Brewmasters to an extent, because they can absorb all their healing orbs to make it stronger. But for Windwalker, it does not self heal a lot. Okay, we have full charge. We're gonna do this. We're gonna zap. We're gonna apply that, and we're gonna beam. Laser beam. I don't know if it's not showing my laser beams, but I should be laser beamed to people. Am I supposed to Light of Dawn more? I really do think so, because it's not like horrible healing. Let's, I'm just gonna keep trying it. Light of Dawn, Light of Dawn. I don't hate it. Whoa, dude, look at this overall damage meter. Dude, the Rep Pally did crazy. The Rep Pally went buck wild. When you're spoiled for choice in a new expansion, that's a great thing. That's a great thing. We could see what's I haven't even looked at the other hero talent tree. Lightsmith. Well, that's too much reading for now. I'll stick with my laser beams. Thank you very much.